Okay guys, are you just terrible at drawing? And if so, do you want to get better right quick? I got an easy way for you to get better at drawing. All you have to do is ask yourself, is this drawing telling or showing? That's what I'm doing here. Show and tell. In this case, the telling is bad, the show is good. Over here on the left is a prime example of a tell drawing. You're gonna see a lot of harsh, hard lines. It's a very in-your-face, this is an eye and I ain't got time for this sort of thing. Now let's try drawing this eye on the right side and changing it into a show drawing. The basic outlines are pretty much the same, as you can see. The main difference is I am not pressing down hard on the paper, doing soft strokes with my pencil, making no indentations in the paper. These are just my basic outlines. Now that that's all set, it's time to shade. Shading is king when it comes to realistic images. This is what is going to make the huge difference between tell and show. Now that I have my basic shading done, it is time to blend. Here are my blending tools. This is a tortillon. This is a blending stump. My favorite is a tortillon. I'm able to get super detailed and get into really small areas. If you don't have these items, you can also use a Q-tip to help with blending, or you can also use your finger, but it will leave oils on your paper. Not so good. If you can, use a tortillon. I'll definitely leave a link in the description so you can check those out. It's very important to note you only use it on the side. If you use it straight down, it's gonna push into itself and become useless. Oh man, next up are the eyebrows. I love doing eyebrows. I like making them really thick and fun and crazy. Okay, reference images are so helpful, especially when it comes to eyeballs and you don't know exactly what they look like and all the details. I just love doing eyebrows though, and there's just so many layers you can build to add that thickness, and make sure to add the individual hairs on the tops and bottoms so it looks very realistic in that way. I like me some bushy eyebrows. The iris, if you look at your reference photo, has all of these individual lines coming out from the pupil, reaching the outer edge of your iris. If you make sure to focus on these lines in the direction you're going, it'll help it look a lot more realistic for you. Keep on adding layers and layers of shading. You'll slowly build up a nice, beautiful, I don't know, whatever you call it. I've also added a shadow under the eyelid so it creates some depth there. Next up is a very important piece of equipment, your eraser. You don't want to go without an eraser. I have a kneaded eraser and it's a lifesaver. I can't imagine using any other eraser. You can form it into any shape, including pinpoints, so you can get into really small areas. And you simply press into the paper and pull up, and it's a very subtle erase. It's especially great for catchlights in the eyes. Then I'm also just doing a general, pulling up the highlights on the bulges of the eyelids and the folds in the face. comes to equipment, I mean, you can start with basic printer paper and basic pencils and slowly work your way up. If you don't get the shading principles down first, no amount of tools or equipment are gonna make you better. So I have some basic drawing pencils here. It's mostly B's, which are softer, and I like that better for my drawing. There are H's, and those are really hard and light. And here's my 9B. Oh my gosh, my favorite. As you can tell, it's the smallest one, and that's the darkest. Okay, now that all my shading is done, next up is what is commonly the hardest part of an eye for people, and that's the eyelashes. You gotta wait until all your shading is done. If you don't, you know, eyelashes are supposed to be really sharp and fine, and if you don't save them for last, inevitably they're gonna get blurred and soft. So you're gonna use fast flicking motions. You don't want to go slow. You just gotta commit, guys. All right, I'm gonna start down here and pull, like have it go down a little bit and then just flick up. Yeah, just like that. Down and up. So just go fast and commit. And of course this depends on what kind of eye you're drawing. If it's a male's eyes, you know, some males have really nice eyelashes, like my hubby hoobs. Some eyelashes are really light and you hardly see them, but you know, when you draw, you probably over exaggerate. So you just kind of go for it, man. And then when you do the bottom ones, they're, you know, about half the size, and they kind of clump together. And just like the top ones, and once you get like 2/3 of the way through, they kind of change directions. So gradually change that direction. Oh, now I'm adding the green. Okay. There we have it. What do you guys think? So now next time you're drawing and you want to try to up your game a little bit, ask yourself, is this telling or showing? And if it's telling, ask yourself how you can make it more showing. And there we have it. Some lovely details. This drawing took me about 30 minutes, which is pretty, you know, it's kind of a speedy one. And of course, if you spent more time, you could get things looking way better. All right, have fun. Let me know if you try it. Happy drawing!